Do you ever feel like you're just blending into the background in your relationships, always putting others first? Or you find yourself yet again in the arms of a narcissist, who seems to thrive on taking center stage, leaving you feeling invisible and unheard? Do you ever wonder why this pattern keeps repeating? Why might that be? Is it something about them, or could it be a reflection of something within you? In this video, we're going to talk about something called echoism. It's a simple idea, but it might help you see your relationships in a whole new light. Let's find out how being an echoist could be affecting your life. This trait could silently influence your life more than you've ever realized. Let's start by understanding what echoism really means. It's a term you might not have heard before, but it's deeply relevant to many of our lives. Echoism describes people who often find themselves in the background, overshadowed by more dominant personalities. Unlike narcissists, who seek attention and admiration, echoists tend to avoid the spotlight, feel unworthy of attention, and typically put others' needs before their own. Contrasting echoism with narcissism sheds light on its unique traits. Narcissists love being the center of attention, thrive on admiration, and often lack empathy. Echoists, on the other hand, are the exact opposite. They're the quiet ones, often overly accommodating and deeply empathetic to the point of neglecting their own needs. This contrast is crucial to understand, as it highlights the silent struggles of echoists and why they might repeatedly find themselves in the orbit of narcissists. To fully grasp echoism, it's essential to look at its origins. This concept isn't born out of modern psychology alone. It has deep roots in an ancient story. This story, which we'll explore next, isn't just a tale from the past. It's a key to understanding echoism in our modern world. In a world woven with magic and myth, the story of Echo and Narcissus unfolds, a tale that has echoed through time. Echo was once a nymph with a voice so captivating it could charm the birds from the trees. But her fate took a tragic turn when Hera, the queen of the gods, cursed her. Hera's wrath left Echo with only a sliver of her voice. She could no longer speak her own thoughts, only repeat the words of others. In this silent world, Echo stumbled upon Narcissus, a youth of such breathtaking beauty that he captivated all who saw him. But his heart was as cold as his face was fair. Narcissus loved no one but himself, spurning the affections of all. Echo, however, was drawn to him, her heart aching with a love she could not express in her own words. As Echo followed Narcissus through the forests, her heart echoed his every word, but her own love remained unspoken. The cruelty of her fate was that she could echo everything but her own heart's desires. And Narcissus, lost in his world, noticed her not. The story takes a darker turn when Narcissus, cursed by a spurned admirer, finds himself enthralled by his own reflection in a pool of water. There he stayed, unable to pull himself away from the image of himself, trapped in a spell of self-obsession. Echo watched from afar, her love as silent as her voice, her presence unnoticed. In the end, Narcissus withers away, consumed by his own reflection, leaving Echo alone, her voice echoing through the lonely woods. Her love for Narcissus, unrequited and unheard, becomes a poignant symbol of the pain of loving someone who cannot love beyond themselves. This ancient tale, rich in metaphor, paints a vivid picture of the echoist and the narcissist. Echo, unable to voice her own desires, becomes a symbol of those who lose themselves in the reflection of others. Narcissus, obsessed with his own image, represents the extreme of self-absorption. As we relate this tale to our modern lives, it becomes a mirror reflecting our own relationships. How often do we, like Echo, find our voices lost in the shadows of others? How often do we encounter people like Narcissus, unable to see beyond their own reflection? The story of Echo and Narcissus is not just a myth. It's a lens through which we can understand the complexities of human relationships and the struggle to find our own voice amidst the echoes. As we leave behind the ancient world of Echo and Narcissus, we find their echoes in the modern concept of echoism. This psychological trait, while not as dramatic as the myth, is deeply woven into the fabric of many people's lives today. Echoism, named after the nymph Echo, describes individuals who often fade into the background, overshadowed by stronger personalities. These individuals typically shy away from attention and prefer supporting roles rather than being in the spotlight. Their empathy runs deep, often prioritizing others' needs and emotions above their own. This self-effacing nature, while seemingly selfless, has profound implications on their identity and relationships. Echoism's impact on relationships is profound, yet often understated. In personal relationships, echoists tend to be the givers, constantly adjusting their needs to accommodate their partners. They are the ones who listen more and speak less, often overshadowed by more assertive personalities. This dynamic, while seeming harmonious, can lead to a lack of fulfillment and recognition for the echoist. Take Sarah, for instance, a classic echoist. In her relationship, she constantly found herself agreeing with her partner's choices, feeling a growing sense of invisibility and frustration. Her preferences, muffled by her partner's louder voice, led to a quiet resentment. At social gatherings, while she listened attentively to others, a sense of loneliness crept in as her own stories and opinions remained unspoken, hidden behind a mask of agreeability. Her world was an echo of others, her unique voice and identity fading into a silent background. This tendency to echo others might seem benign at first glance, but it can lead to significant psychological impacts. Echoists like Sarah, who always put others first and stay out of the spotlight, might start feeling less valuable. They might struggle with low self-esteem, as their needs and desires are perpetually placed on the back burner. Over time, this can lead to a loss of personal identity, with echoists feeling like mere reflections of those around them, rather than individuals with their own thoughts and feelings. Further delving into the psyche of echoists, we often find their emotional well-being deeply intertwined with others. This dependency, while initially seeming like a strength, can lead to an unhealthy dynamic in relationships. Echoists may find themselves in partnerships where their voice is not only unheard, but also unvalued. Their inherent fear of being a burden often leads them to suppress their own emotions, causing internal distress and, at times, leading to anxiety or depression. In contrast, when paired with a narcissistic partner, the echoist's tendencies are amplified. The narcissist's need for attention and validation finds a willing giver in the echoist, creating a cycle of dependency and imbalance. The echoist's voice becomes even more diminished, their sense of self-worth tied up in the approval of their partner. However, this dynamic is not set in stone. Recognition of these patterns can lead to growth and change, allowing echoists to reclaim their voice and establish healthier relationships. Professionally, echoists often find themselves in supportive roles, their contributions crucial yet understated. They are the reliable workers, the ones who ensure smooth operations, but their reluctance to take credit can hinder their professional recognition and advancement. Consider the case of Alex, another echoist. At work, Alex was the go-to person for his colleagues, always ready to lend an ear or a hand. However, his projects and ideas often took a back seat. This constant sidelining, though subtle, began to weigh on him. He started questioning his abilities and worth, his confidence eroding. Alex's story is not uncommon among echoists, who often struggle with recognizing their value in both professional and personal settings. However, when an echoist learns to advocate for themselves, the professional landscape shifts. They begin to receive the recognition they deserve, and their career trajectory can change significantly. Echoism and narcissism represent two ends of a spectrum in personality traits. While echoists avoid the limelight and prioritize others, narcissists seek attention and admiration. Narcissists often lack empathy, focusing on their own needs and desires, whereas echoists exhibit high levels of empathy, sometimes to their own detriment. This contrast creates a dynamic where echoists can be drawn to narcissists, finding themselves in relationships where their tendencies to give and the narcissist to take are amplified. Understanding echoism is crucial in personal development and in fostering healthy relationships. Recognizing the contrast between echoism and narcissism helps us understand relationship dynamics better. Echoists, often overshadowed, need to find their voice, while those around them should learn to recognize and appreciate their quiet contributions. As we reflect on the tales of Sarah and Alex and the ancient story of Echo, we are reminded of the importance of finding balance between our own voice and the reflections we offer to the world around us. The concept of echoism is a subject of debate among psychologists, with varying viewpoints on its definition and implications. Some experts view echoism as a distinct personality trait, marked by an excessive focus on others to the detriment of one's own needs. They argue that it's a reaction to being around narcissistic individuals and a form of self-neglect. Dr. Craig Malkin is a clinical psychologist and author renowned for his work on narcissism. He defines echoism as the fear of seeming narcissistic in any way. Other psychologists, however, are cautious about labeling echoism as a pathology. They suggest that what might be perceived as echoism could simply be a healthy form of empathy and support in relationships. They emphasize the importance of considering cultural and individual differences in understanding this trait. Dr. Ramani Durvasula, a licensed clinical psychologist and expert on narcissistic abuse. She could offer an insight like, Echoism can also be seen as a survival strategy in environments dominated by narcissistic individuals. This divergence in perspectives highlights the complexity of human behavior and the challenge of categorizing personality traits. The debate continues as more research and discussion unfold in the psychological community. For Echoists looking to improve their self-esteem and break free from the cycle of echoism, a multifaceted approach can be effective. It starts with self-awareness, recognizing the patterns of echoism in one's life. This can be achieved through mindfulness practices, which help in identifying moments of self-neglect and in developing a more balanced approach to empathy. Therapeutic interventions, such as cognitive behavioral therapy, CBT, can be particularly beneficial. They help in restructuring negative thought patterns about self-worth and in learning to assert one's needs in relationships. Developing assertiveness skills is crucial as it enables echoists to express their thoughts and feelings more openly and effectively. Another key aspect is building a support system of friends, family, or support groups who understand and encourage the echoists' journey towards self-discovery and assertiveness. Surrounding oneself with people who recognize and appreciate one's true self can significantly bolster self-esteem. Engaging in activities that foster personal growth and self-expression, such as hobbies, arts, or sports, can also be a powerful tool in reclaiming one's identity and sense of self-worth. These activities provide a platform for echoists to explore and express their individuality, away from the dynamics of their relationships. How do you relate to the concept of echoism? Have you seen its effects in your own life or in the lives of those around you? What strategies have you employed to find your voice and assert your identity? Share your stories and insights in the comments below. Your experiences could be a guiding light for someone else struggling with echoism. In this video, we've discussed echoism, its characteristics, and how it contrasts with narcissism. We've looked at its effects on relationships and self-esteem, sharing personal stories to illustrate these points. As we wrap up, think about this. Where in your life might your voice be more reflective of others than your true self? Understanding and addressing echoism is about more than personal growth. It's about fostering healthier, more authentic relationships. What steps can you take to ensure your voice is heard clearly and distinctly? Thank you for joining us on this journey through the world of echoism. If you found value in our discussion, please like this video, subscribe to our channel, and share it with those who may also benefit. Don't forget to click the bell icon to turn on notifications and stay updated with our latest content. Your participation helps us grow and continue to provide insightful content. Share your thoughts in the comments and let's keep this important conversation going.